This is the Hades prison, which is even harder to escape from than the god-level Poseidon prison. It has more redstone mechanisms, stronger security measures, more ancient guardians. Every corner is immune to teleportation effects. Even the guards cannot help prisoners escape. Everything is designed solely to isolate this small cell. First, enter the prison through the portal. Then you will appear in the main hall. The item lockers are sealed with netherite doors. Only guards can open it. The item locker must be unlocked with a keycard. Then you will enter the first decontamination chamber. You are separated from the guard by a 3-layer netherite wall with windows. The guard can close the windows at any time when feeling threatened. This ensures no contact between prisoners and guards. Cannot kill the guard. After entering the corridor, you will set a respawn point and then be killed. Immediately after, you will enter this one-way passage. It will detect if more than one player is on the pressure plate. Then you will be sprayed with fireproof potion and pass through the lava channel. This leads to the second layer of disinfection room. Then you will undergo another item inspection. You need to crawl through a long passage. Finally enter the prison cell. But this is just the tip of the iceberg of this prison. Besides the double-layer disinfection room, as mentioned before, the guard's observation corridor windows can be closed with one button. There are controls for item inspection on the wall, piston doors and the switching mechanism for the lockdown system. You may notice the guard corridor is covered with water and soul sand. Guards wear boots enchanted with soul speed and depth strider. This allows them to move at nearly sprinting speed while walking normally. This water also has other clever uses. It prevents others from entering from outside by consuming teleportation effects. It also prevents explosions from damaging the prison. Prisoners will be hindered by water in this passage, while guards will move at twice the speed of prisoners. If there are multiple guards in the prison, each guard can only have partial control permissions. Only the warden can enter the main control room. Access control is implemented through keycards. This ensures that even guards cannot release prisoners from their cells, even if someone manages to enter the control room successfully. All control systems require a keycard to operate. This system is unhackable. In addition, the prison also has another system for visitors to exit after visitation ends. However, these are not particularly helpful for escape. The outer walls of Hades prison are similar to Poseidon's, constructed with layers of magma, obsidian and water combinations. But this prison has a newly developed system, making escape extremely difficult, which is the lockdown measure. When guards or the warden press this button, lockdown is triggered. This will seal the entire prison and activate defenses. All doors will close. All portals will be severed. The tide core will also shut down, causing prisoners to drown. Lockdowns can also be triggered by prisoners. Visitors triggering, such as destroying the carpet in the main hall, damaging cell walls, or multiple players standing on pressure plates in one-way passages. Even beds being destroyed or used more than 3 times. You heard that right. This system can detect the number of times a bed is used. If it exceeds 2 times, a lockdown is triggered. It seems no one can escape from this prison alive. But the player Mephodak managed to find a way to break free on his own. First, before officially entering, Mephodak prepared a daylight sensor and an efficiency V golden pickaxe. Since Hades' cell structure is basically the same as Poseidon's, he also needed a block to disrupt the cobblestone generator's normal operation. This time he planned to use a daylight sensor, because it has the shortest destruction time. Additionally, he wore full netherite armor and carried weapons and potions. Put them in a locker or hand them over to the guard. This way, no one will notice that he also smuggled other items. Now Mephodak enters the first decontamination chamber. These security measures greatly obstruct the guard's line of sight, so throwing items in this corner won't be noticed by the guards. But how can the items be placed there quietly? Actually, the design of this prison gave him a helping hand. The guard must turn completely around to reach the switch, then turn back to see the player. So when the guard has their back to the player, Mephodak can then take the opportunity to throw the item on the ground. Next, he needs to set the respawn point and then get killed. After respawning, he needs to repeatedly press 3, then press plus a key while facing the window. This way, the guards won't notice that he picked up the item. Then he will enter the one-way passage and proceed into the lava channel. This is not particularly difficult, but after passing through, Mephodak needs to be prepared. This is the hardest part of the smuggling process, because this door is open. Sleeping on the bed. This door is closed. The door on the other side opens. The player gets killed and respawns on the other side. After repeated testing, Mephodak found a way to smuggle items through. The guard will turn around to open the door of the second decontamination chamber. At this moment, he needs to throw the item under the bed near the wall. The item must not be too far from the bed nor thrown on the bed. Next, click on the bed. The door closes, then get eliminated. This way the item will get stuck inside the bed, and the guards cannot see it. After respawning, rapidly press the number 3 hotbar. Pick up the item. This allows you to pass all item checks. Enter the final destination, prison cell. The first step of escaping prison is to wait and observe. The guards are likely using a wallhack bug to monitor the player's every move. So Mephodak must wait for the guards to lower their alertness before taking action. Someone comes to inspect approximately every half hour. But even if they inspect every 10 minutes, Mephodak still has enough time to escape, because he only needs 6 minutes. Take out the pickaxe and break the block in the bottom left corner. This only takes 2 minutes to complete. Drowning takes 50 seconds. This means even if discovered by guards midway, they won't have time to drown the player. Moreover, being spotted by guards immediately after starting to dig and triggering a lockdown has an extremely low probability. After destroying the ore, quickly switch to the daylight sensor with 2 keys and place it. Then swim into the passage, since removing and immediately replacing blocks doesn't trigger alarms. So if guards aren't monitoring the player with X-ray vision, they will remain completely unaware of all this. Even if discovered by guards during the escape process, they can't do anything either. Next, Mephodak needs to remove the bed and daylight sensor. Then he will be sent back to his cell. the lockdown is triggered, all guards will come to check the situation, and this is exactly part of the plan. After triggering the lockdown, the conduit core stops functioning. The player will drown. The only way to end the lockdown is to press the button in the remote control room, but from the guard's perspective, there was no reason to end the lockdown. The guards cannot see the location of the bed. Thus, they are unaware that the bed has been destroyed. From their point of view, the player merely broke a block and replaced it. The guards need to eliminate the player to ensure he doesn't escape. But ironically, the exact opposite happened, because when the respawn time comes, the player has already escaped. The player has already escaped.